Day 3 at Headingley, and it's time for Ask George. Very wet Headingley today, as you can tell by my hair. It's looking like Annie meets Shaka Khan. Yeah, George's especially. Simon Hodgson asks, did England just win a day?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think they did. I mean, it's been a pretty even match. They almost won at Edgbaston, didn't they? Mm-hmm. So it's been much closer than the scoreline would suggest so far. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? But yeah, they had a very good day.
Mm-hmm. Daniel Chapman says, given slow over rates occur every day of every test, is there a reason we don't always play to 7:30 to catch up? Why should it only be for rain?
It's a reasonable question. I think that the players in particular, all the officials, broadcast companies want to know what the schedule is. And right or wrong, I can understand where they're coming from. There are issues with over rates. You know, we've talked about it before. I would ensure that ticket holders got a refund as a matter of course, the percentage that of play they miss, and I think that would resolve the problem. It's worth saying that certainly England have lost their entire match fee for every game so far this series.
A lot of points as well.
They're minus 16, I think, aren't they? So those things aren't working. Mm-hmm. But I think if you start hit the administrators and make it their problem, it will work. But I, to be fair, I'm not positive. I don't want to dismiss the point you've raised because I thoroughly agree with it. Yep. But I'm not sure it's a day that people went home thinking, the over rates were awful. I don't know, because we waited a long time today, and when it came, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was worth the wait, I feel. The sort of anticipation. Enough anticipation. Jonathan Collett asks, why does the night watch theory not apply to openers? I once tried to convince Mickey Arthur, but he wasn't having it.
Well, I mean, it has happened, and people have had pinch hitters in various ways.
I think Alison Cook tried it once. He was saying on comms yesterday.
Was he? He's seen a lot of things on comms yesterday that maybe. Anyhow, I think it's a very specialist. Well, is it a very specialist job anymore? Basically, I think you're probably right. Everything should be questioned. But when you've got players who already play like these guys play, who sort of go after the ball a bit anyway, not entirely sure what the benefit is, and you don't want to end up with someone like Stokes being, left stranded. So you don't want to push people down the order too far, do you? So there are pros and cons. I'm not a massive fan. The job of batting I'd leave to batters.
James Morgan asks, is it fair to say that a bloke who keeps hooking the ball for 6 isn't actually that weak against a short ball?
Jeez, I completely agree with you. I mean, that game in the World Test Championship, what did he get? 163? And people said, see, proved it. Jeff Miller tells a great story about bowling to Viv Richards. And I can't remember what the plan was, but basically the plan worked and they got Viv Richards the 291. That's how it feels with this fella. He's nailing it, isn't he?
Yeah. It just came, it was a bit, there was a lot of oohs and ahs and applause in the press box when he was just relentless, really.
Yeah, he had it beautifully, as he does. I mean, he's a very good player. But it did feel, with the nip and the movement that England were getting, that it was a day to pitch it up and move it around. I don't want to be too critical because their tactics have been, these things aren't necessarily right and wrong. They may have been right with the tactic in that he just played brilliantly. I don't know, he did play brilliantly. But I agree with that. I don't think he does look particularly weak against the short ball.
And the problem is those runs that he scored off of the short ball could come back to bite England.
Well, he could, but maybe. I mean, he does drive and stuff well as well. I mean, he's very, very good.
Stephen asks, are England playing entertaining cricket rather than clever cricket?
Well, I don't know that today's the day I'd have asked that.
Yeah.
I think that's been a very legitimate question to ask this series. But, I thought today Wokes and Broad bowled skillfully, beautifully, intelligently. And I thought that Wood did what Wood was asked to do. He took 2 wickets, got kept on a bit long. And then the openers batted very well. So I take the point. And basically, I think I probably agree. But I thought, actually, this game, they've taken steps towards playing in a more sophisticated way. And Ben Stokes, in particular, has led the way with that.
I think you can still have clever cricket while having entertaining cricket as well.
God, of course you can. Absolutely you can.
It's not one or the other.
And you can also have entertaining slow cricket.
Yeah, exactly. Sob, or SOB, says, Chris Wokes is having an excellent game, but shouldn't England, in hindsight, have played him at Lord's instead, where he's Glenn McGrath's reincarnate?
Well, I mean, you're saying should you leave out Jimmy Anderson, and it's terribly easy to have hindsight on these things.
I mean, Woke's got a terrific record at Lords, hasn't he?
Incredible, but he's actually got a better bowling average in England in tests than Broad or Anderson. So he's got this incredible record, and maybe Ollie Robinson as well comes into the equation. So, you know, I'm a massive Chris Wokes fan. I really am. I'm his biggest fan, I think. Shall I tell you an embarrassing story about Chris Wokes?
Go on.
I once went for a run. Awful thing in itself. Well, and it turns out I had phoned his brother.
You'd butt dialed Chris Wokes' brother?
No, it was. I had headphones on, and so I had heavy breathed for 20 minutes on the phone, and he phoned me back. And when I got back, the message was, "I didn't even know you had my number."
The other Wokes.
Yeah, well, any Wokes you can get, eh?
Yeah, good tale. Rhys Benjamin asks, had that Brook catch been still, would Bairstow finally have been dropped?
I don't know. Yeah, I know. There was a 50-50 call, and the keeper didn't get it, which I thought it may have betrayed some lack of confidence that Bairstow, you know, usually the fellow with the gloves goes for it, eh?
Yeah.
So, would it have made a difference at this stage? I don't know. I mean, let's get to the end of this game and reassess, but they don't seem to me as if they're particularly reflective and about to admit that they've got one or two things wrong.
Rumblepants has asked, when Stokes finally hangs up the boots, who's most likely to fill the all-rounder spot for England in the long term?
Oh, Lord knows. I mean, let's remember, he's not the only all-rounder at the side. You know, Chris Wokes' career is outstanding. Moeen Ali's career is outstanding.
Can we count Harry Brook pushing it?
We're definitely pushing it with him. Ollie Robinson, you know, can bat a bit. You know, Stuart Broad's, how many test runs he got? Over 3,000.
Yeah.
So, well, a lot of test runs. So, but cricketers like Ben Stokes come along very rarely. I mean, Ian Botham, Ben Stokes. It was extraordinary because I reckon Botham played the first couple of tests of his careers with Tony Greig. And so you've got two absolutely top-class all-rounders. And England have been very lucky in that regard recently. Yeah. But cricketers like Ben Stokes are very, very special. So whether the next one is someone like Rue or the other Ollie Robinson, you know, so it's a keeper who's a top-order batter as well.
It does say a lot that the two that come to mind, the big all-rounders, are Stokes and then all the way back to Botham. It very much is.
Well, Flintoff had a terrific career for a bit.
It's sort of like a want to.
Well, they're amazing cricketers. They're
but they're
really,
big characters.
special.
Those kind of fiery, lion-hearted, as they often call it, players like Stokes, Flintoff, and Botham.
Yeah.
When is that next one?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you can't. Can you plan for it? I'm wondering if there's someone in county cricket I'm missing. What I will say is there was Surrey developed three of them in. I can't remember what the year was now, but. Ben Hollyoake, Ricky Clark, Alex Tudor, I thought all might play 100 tests. Sometimes life has other plans. But, what's his name? Rehan Ahmed could be that guy. Who else?
He's been looking good.
Yeah, but that's a batter. I'm trying to think of a bowling all-rounder. And I'm struggling a little bit. But I think it just tells you how special it is, what we have at the moment. And you know, enjoy it while you can, because it's not going to last very much longer, is it?
Well, on that topic, Jack Rule asks, if Stokes wasn't captain, would he be in the team? Clearly the man is broken, and we can't rely on more miracles, which is in inverted commas.
Jack, I like you, Jack, but come on now, head out your ass. I mean, he's broken. Categorically he is. Yeah. He does disrupt the balance of the side because of that. Have you seen him bat? He's amazing. So I would move him up the order. But you know, if you can find a way to include him, you do. He's a special cricketer. Even if he has got, I think it's a bad back, bad
dodgy glute,
bad hip, bad knee, obviously.
Same.
You know, he's probably got dandruff. I don't even know what he's got. IBS. Athlete's foot. Yeah. I hope not. But he's still pretty terrific. I mean, his last two innings have been, 80 and 155? 155, I think, is the highest score from a number 6 in the fourth innings in Test history. He's got 3 fourth innings centuries, I think, against Australia.
Yeah, sounds
That's incredible. And every one of them, I've been lucky to see every one of them, and every one of them's been a great innings. So, no. I mean, who are you replacing him with?
Yeah.
I'd like the follow-up.
And
who are you replacing him
a lot of
with?
teams still see him as a big character to face, or that they will be facing. He's
He intimidates.
charismatic.
You can tell, can't you?
Yeah, yeah, big time.
He intimidates bowlers in a way that Viv Richards
brought
did.
Up to Travis Head in the post-match conference, as you know, is having him in the batting in innings, getting set in, intimidating. And I think it is, because once he sets himself in, anything could happen, especially here.
I'm quite looking forward to seeing him back, because I'm sure that they'll have Murphy, the off-spinner, bowling to him a lot. Obviously, that's an area that's quite difficult for him. And I thought it was a really interesting tussle in the first innings. I thought Murphy did pretty well, actually. But that might be fascinating tomorrow. But no, I mean, obviously you can't play him if he's completely broken, but it's not like he's not getting runs.
Yeah. Greg Boone asks, in your team with Stokes at number 3 and Folkes in, as we spoke about yesterday,
yeah, that is right.
does Brook or Pope lose out?
Well, Pope's injured. But I don't want to be wise after the event. I was leaving out Zach Crawley, who's actually not having I mean, I think he's doing the job he was asked to do. Mm-hmm. So I might have got it wrong, but I don't want to be, dishonest about it. Before the series, I said I'd open with Ben Stokes. I would have played Bairstow and Brook, yeah. And Folkes.
Jenna asks a very important question. What do journalists do during these rain breaks?
Well, I was really, really tired, and then someone asked a question about how I sounded on 5 Live this morning. I think I sounded a bit the worse for wear. I went back to the hotel and I had a snooze.
You've done a nap. We had
I had a nap at the back of the box as well. I was struggling, to be honest.
We were having full rain delay questions up in the box, debating what was it? What famous celebrity do you share your birthday with? Would you rather have toes for fingers or fingers for toes? I think finger toes.
Ravi Bopara and I share a birthday. Ravi, what a party we could have. And Audrey Hepburn too, but I think her deadness has probably made her less of a party animal than she once was.
And Audrey Hepburn hasn't got any T2000s.
No, I'm not sure what success Ravi Bopara has had in musicals. But I'd love to see Ravi Bopara sing Moon River.
Oh yeah. Oh, what I'd pay to see that.
With the Ravi Bopara's screen kiss with George Peppard would be quite something.
In Breakfast at Tiffany's.
That's the recasting that the world needs.
Yes.
I think he follows me on Twitter, so I don't know. He won't do tomorrow.
Greg asks, on a scale of 1 to 10, how impressed were you with the Moeen Ali bringing out the Roy Keane to stop a boundary epic slide tackle?
Well, I thought it was fantastic dedication. It's always been a pretty good fielder, to be fair. And who knows how this game's going to end? Yeah, and those little moments.
Yeah, those little.
Someone throwing themselves. Mm-hmm. There's a lot to like about both these sides of this series. It's been terrific. Every session, basically, has been really fun. And how many times have we said, I know it's pathetic cliche, we should do better, but God, this next couple of hours, that's everything.
Really? I mean, the first few hours this morning weren't that great, but
no, I thought they were going to be, and when it did start, it was brilliant almost straight away. I missed the first over, but but I did see the wickets. So
maybe you're lucky. We just need to be sat in there all day then, or no, if it's wickets.
Well, I don't usually see it all day.
We're done.
Okay, cool, brilliant.
We'll hopefully see you for day 4.